truck in front, no problem, honk and cut. That's the amount of precision handling that this car gives you, and the confidence and pulls and pulls. That was a quick 0 to 180. Take the slalom over here, brake, turn in, turn left, turn right. That's the body control that this car gives you. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the JRS Cars YouTube channel. Yes friends, thank you so much for waiting, because today's video is going to be on the 2014 BMW 3 Series. Yes friends, you have been asking me for the last 6 months, where is the review, where is the review? Well, I just did not want to give a normal review for this vehicle, and I wanted to give you a proper ownership review with the service and maintenance cost, pros and cons, and with the answer of should you buy a pre-owned BMW 320d. All this and more in this video. Let's begin straight away. Alright friends, straight away starting with styling. The 2014 3 Series, also called the F30, in my opinion is one of the most timeless BMW designs after the E46. We do have pretty decent sized kidney shaped grills along with these DRL elements coming together to give the car a real menacing, at the same time timeless and elegant look. This car, of course, in red and being the Sportline trim, looks really very aggressive and sporty. Moving to the side, we do have 17-inch wheels over here with run flat tires. We'll talk more about the ride and handling balance when we get driving. Coming to the side, yeah, pretty simple, clean BMW design is what you expect from a car of this class. Moving to the back, we have, well, JRS Cars plates, the BMW logo, 320 badging, and yeah, we have this blacked out element over there signifying this car's sporty nature. Overall, in my opinion, this car, of course, does signify one of the pinnacles of BMW's engineering when it comes to design and styling. Before we jump inside, let's just quickly talk about boot space. So yeah, we take the key, press the button, and yeah, boot opens. So yeah friends, I mean the boot has around 480 liters of space, but as you can see, a lot of space is taken by the space saver wheel. So if you plan to have a long vacation, then yes, you do need to plan properly, or else your luggage will definitely be spilling into the interior. Alright friends, let's really jump into the back seat of the 3 Series. And yes, this of course being the Sportline, you do get very sporty looking black seats with red stitching, matching the exterior really very well. Let's quickly climb inside, and yes friends, once you're inside the back seat of the car, you realize two very important things. One, the seating position is pretty comfortable, but of course if you're a tall person like me, undercarriage support is not very good, headroom is decent, and leg space is just about adequate, with the front seat set to a person of about my height. However, after being with this car for around 7 months and 10,000 kilometers, and also spending a considerable amount of time in the back seat, I can tell you two things. If you're going to buy this car to be chauffeur driven, then I would not recommend it, because with the 17-inch wheels, the little bit of a stiff suspension, RFT tires, and of course they're not very comfortable back seats, you are better off getting an A4, a C-Class, or any other car in this segment if you're going to be prioritizing rear seat space and comfort. That's not to say that this car does not have enough features. I mean, of course, you do have rear AC vents. You do have this inbuilt sunshade, which is of course missing in even the newer 3 Series. You do also have an electronic retractable sunshade for the rear glass. You do of course have this very comfortable armrest with twin cup holders. Pretty nice. And once you sit inside, once you get inside, that is, it is pretty comfortable. However, long journeys with tall people in the car, you are going to feel a little bit cramped. And of course, if you have elderly people in the family, getting in and getting out is a bit of an issue with the car's low slung nature. However, this being a 3 Series, the business end is of course the front seat, the driver's seat. That's where all the fun happens. That's where you can really enjoy every single rupee spent on this car. And let's really jump to the front seat now. Alright friends, jumping into the driver's seat, the business end of the 3 Series, and you will notice straight away one of the most irritating things on this generation BMW, and that is of course melting door handles. Of course I put a towel over here to prevent getting sticky goo on my hand every time I want to close the door. This is something that will be replaced soon, but until then I've managed with this cloth solution. And yeah, that brings me on to the interior of this car. Like I mentioned, this being the sport line, you do of course get this sporty red inserts on the interior. Of course the 17-inch wheels, and the most important thing of the sport line, and why I would recommend it over the luxury line and the corporate, of course, are these sports seats. Yes, these seats have adjustable bolstering over here with this function over here. You get memory settings for 2 people, and of course you also get this extendable thigh support, which is of course really very useful on long drives. With that said, let's quickly jump inside. We do of course have a digger coming towards us. Let's hope he does not run us over. Yes friends, so now we are finally in the business end of the 3 Series. Let's quickly bring her to life. Turning on the AC and turning off the most irritating feature, the automatic start stop. Yes friends, now we are inside the business end of the 3 Series, where every 320D owner or 328i owner should be spending their time when they buy this car. This, my friends, this seat is where all the fun happens, all the action happens, and when you get behind the wheel of this car, you are really taken into a different world when it comes to driving experience. The sitting position is spot on. It's really very comfortable, offers you enough of under-thigh support as well as lower back support, making long drive really easy. You do have a little bit of an old-fashioned BMW steering over here without paddle shifters, but of course you do have the Tiptronic function over here. Put in Tiptronic and that gets your job done. We do have of course the iDrive, dual zone climate control, and of course the all-important sunroof, an auto-dimming inside rear mirror, and of course the really good-looking traditional BMW dials. We have your fuel gauge, speedo, tacho, and engine temperature gauge, which actually gives the oil temperature unlike the coolant temperature in many cars. We of course have this little bit of a digital display down at the bottom, which is missing in the lower variants of the 3 Series. We do of course have the most important buttons of the car: traction control off, and of course the buttons to switch between Eco Pro, Sport, Sport Plus, and Comfort. So yeah friends, that's pretty much it regarding the interior of this car. Really good, really well built. Features wise a bit lacking when you compare to modern cars, but of course it gets the job done when you consider the price point and driving experience this car gives you. And of course no review of JRS cars would be complete without taking a look at the powerhouse that powers the 320D, and that of course is this, a very dirty but very good 2-liter diesel engine, 184 bhp, 400 Nm of torque, and coupled with the excellent ZF 8-speed torque converter gearbox. This engine and gearbox combination in this package gives this car amazing dynamics and of course tremendous performance and economy as well. Yes friends, I have done a proper mileage test of taking this car to Bangalore and back on a solo road trip, and you will not guess what my final KMPL numbers was tank to tank, not what the car tells me. Anyway, that's for another video, and now time to get driving to see just what a beauty and beast this 2-liter diesel engine is. Alright friends, to get the maximum performance out of this vehicle, you do need to do a few things. You need to of course put the vehicle into Sport Plus, put the gearbox into Sport mode, then left foot on the brake, right front, build the boost and go. That, my friends, is the performance from this car. 150. That's it. That's the performance of this 320D. And yes friends, this car has a proper dual characteristic, a proper dual nature. You can put the car in comfort, put the gearbox into normal, and this car will take you comfortably to work and back without breaking a sweat. However, put the vehicle into Sport Plus, put the gearbox in Sport, and this unleashes a totally different animal from this 2-liter engine. Man oh man, this car is an absolutely great performer. I mean, look at the body control. Doing 120 right now, taking this long sweeping corner, the car gives you absolute confidence. Have a truck in front, no problem, honk and cut. That's the amount of precision handling that this car gives you, and the confidence which this rear wheel drive chassis instills on you. Avoided that bumper right there. Yes friends, this car makes you an absolute monster behind the wheel. Alright friends, let's calm it down a bit. Let's go back to civilian speeds over here and talk more about weight. Take the slalom over here, brake, turn in, turn left, turn right. That's the body control that this car gives you. And do note, this car is 9 years old. 15 December 2014 is today, and that's actually the 9th birthday of this car. So happy birthday to the BMW. And man, oh man, this car absolutely puts a smile on your face. Alright, let's calm it down a bit. Let's talk more sensibly on what you can expect from buying a pre-owned 320D. Let's get the speeds back to a sensible level. Yeah. So friends, let's talk about the steering feel. Yes, the steering does weigh up a bit as you go into sportier modes, but in comfort mode, the car does feel pretty nice to drive, and lane changes are dismissed with the flick of the steering like that. That's the amount of grip, body control that this car offers, giving you immense confidence to push hard and fast whenever you drive on the highway. We are now getting into a bit of a dusty road, so let's bring the speeds down a bit. Yeah. So that's about the steering. I mean, it's really precise, direct, gives you amazing feel and feedback. And really, once you drive a car like this, you will definitely not be happy with any other car, unless of course it is a BMW. Friends, you can see we are driving on pretty bad roads here near Oragadam, but yes, this car gives me the confidence to maintain the speeds because I know exactly where the front wheels are. I know exactly where the car will go when I turn the steering. Let's now talk about the seat comfort. Like I mentioned, the sports seats. In the corporate edition and the luxury line, you do not get this extended thigh support, nor do you get the extra side bolstering, which really hugs you whenever you corner this car hard. I mean, taking this corner hard, I barely move because the seat really keeps me in place, and that also really adds to the comfort as well as the solidity, or rather the feel that this car gives you to push it harder and faster. Let's now talk about efficiency. Well, if you drive the car like a maniac, you will still be happy because you should be getting at least 12. The efficiency has not dropped below 12 on the highway and around 9 or 10 on the city if you drive like a maniac. But if you drive like a very posh gentleman, as this car is meant to be driven, you can expect, hold your breath, 20 kmpl from this car, driving it between 100 to 120 on the highway, which I think is really great mileage considering the amount of performance that this car offers. And well, this car really gives you the best of both worlds, and a diesel is a diesel is a diesel. Catch a petrol giving you that efficiency and the performance to put such a big smile on your face. Well, let's now move to the next topic, which is basically the ride and handling and the suspension setup. Like I mentioned, this car is set up on the sportier side, so you do need to be careful while taking to big bumps, and larger speed breakers can scrape the underbelly, so you do want to take them at an angle. Yes, when you are in the front seat, because you have of course the steering to hold on to and you are in complete control, you do not feel much of the jolts from the road. But in the back seat, when somebody else is driving, the bad roads do really unsettle the car, so you do need to be careful over them, and that's because mainly due to the stiffer suspension, the 17-inch wheels, and of course the run flat tires which this car is running. Let's now move on to more important aspects apart from the childish fun that this car gives you, and that of course is service and maintenance cost. Yes friends, so how much did I spend on servicing and maintaining the car in its one service that I had to give it for? Well, not too bad. I had spent around 29,000, which basically included an oil filter, air filter, an AC filter, and of course an oil change. Pretty high number for just an oil change, but well below what it would cost you for something, let's say like a Merc or an Audi. Entering into sports mode again. So now we have it. Left foot on the brake. Man, oh man, the amount of performance that this car gives you puts a smile on your face like no other car can in this segment. We're now taking this corner at 150. The car grips and it pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls. That was a quick 0 to 180, not 100, 0 to 180. Roads are pretty bad, so I'm stepping back on the throttle, getting back into comfort mode, putting the gearbox back into normal to tame things down a bit. And that, my friends, is the kind of performance that you can expect from this car. 0 to 100 comes up in around 7.9 seconds, which is pretty respectable for a car of this class and weight. Definitely, I mean, if you talk about new cars, the only car in the diesel segment is of course the C300D, and probably that is the only vehicle which is going to give you better performance than this vehicle. But of course, that car costs nearly 75 to 80 lakhs on road, and this car, I mean 2014 model, I bought with around 46,000 kilometers on the clock with a single owner for just under 20L. Seriously, for this amount of performance, this price, is something which you really have to consider if you are in the market for buying a car. Another thing, of course, if you are an enthusiast, what should you buy? Should you buy a brand new Virtus GT or should you buy a pre-owned 320D? Well, guess what? My friend has just purchased a new Virtus GT, and well, we will have a proper comparison video talking about all the differences between this car and that on a more practical perspective, of course, like living with it, the efficiency figures, the build quality, and of course the status symbol of VW over BMW. So friends, that's been the performance and the fun drive of this car, and man oh man, this car really puts a smile on your face. So friends, that's basically been my review of the BMW 320D, a car that has a massive dual personality. You can drive it leisurely, drive it like a lunatic, and this car will reward you either with a smile on your face or with amazing mileage. Absolutely a brilliant car from BMW. And yes, there are a few features like I mentioned, like the window shades at the back, etc., which of course is not available on the brand new 3 Series. And of course the new 3 Series is of course long wheelbase, which does not give you this sporty body control which this short wheelbase car can give you. If you want ultimate performance, the only one car you can buy brand new is of course the M340i, and that of course is on a different level and a different league when it comes to performance. So friends, I really hope you enjoyed this review of the 3 Series. I really enjoyed making this, and I'm wondering why I delayed it so long. But anyway, I gave you friends a proper look at the ownership and service cost, the pros and cons, and of course how it is to live with the 3 Series. So friends, if you enjoyed the video, give the video a thumbs up, that's the like button, do share and subscribe, and of course stay notified, and do let me know in the comments what more videos you do want me to make with this car. So friends, that's a wrap for now. Thank you so much. Take care, bye bye, drive safe.